Hey guys, so I'm going to get ready today using some of my favorite products from the new brand Believe Beauty from Dollar General. Um, some of the products I like more than others, so I'm going to be featuring some of my favorite ones today. I am going to use some products by other brands, but I'm going to edit those sections out to save time. But if you're curious what I used, as always, everything that I use will be listed in the description box. So far, all I've done is moisturize my lips, and so from there, we'll be using face primer. They have 3 primers. And I bought the hydrating one, but I think I might also pick up the one that is a color correcting face primer because I do have a lot of pink, red in my face. So that probably would be a good option for me as well. But I do really like the hydrating one because my skin is normal to dry, so it's always good to add a little bit more moisture. And I just use my fingers to put this on, and this is blue in color. Once it's blended in, though, I don't feel like that really does anything in terms of, adjusting the color of your skin. This one isn't supposed to do that. So yeah, I've been really crazy about many of the things that I picked up from this brand. Some of the things in the line, though, are so warm tone that I just don't feel like there's a match for me with my skin tone. Like, there are no bronzers or contour products that are the right tone for me. Everything is very warm. And as far as the blushes go, I think I am going to try a couple of the shades. I don't know if they're going to work out for me, but I really want to try them for the formula. But maybe I can make 1 or 2 of those work for me. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so the foundation is called Skin Finish Foundation. And I have the shade Nude. And always, always shake your foundation. I also bought the foundation brush, and I love this. I love the design of it. It seems to be very well made. When I wash it, there are no brush hairs coming out or bending or anything like that. I do get a little bit of staining though, but that's no big deal. That's more of an aesthetic thing than anything. But the foundation comes in this beautiful glass bottle. And the shade range skews very warm or yellow based. Even so, I can make this work because my skin is so red that when you put a yellow tone foundation on my pinkish reddish skin, it creates like a neutral base and it acts sort of like a color correcting situation. So I just do a little bit at a time, so I'm just going to start with a small amount. But you do get really good coverage. And if you want to add more, it doesn't get cakey. This is a beautiful foundation in terms of formula, packaging, everything. I can't believe it's only $5. Really, really nice, you guys. Now see how I have some redness on my neck there? Some kind of, I don't know what that is. I think it's like an allergic reaction to something. I get these red blotchy marks on my neck sometimes. I had to actually stop wearing jewelry, necklaces, because of that. It just pops back up again sometimes. So see, that covers that nicely. Okay, that looks pretty even. But yes, I highly recommend the foundation. Okay, now next what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my face with powder. I'm going to contour my face, and I'm going to use a blush. And I'm going to do those off camera because I don't have any Believe Beauty products for those categories, so be right back. And concealer too. I didn't mention concealer. I did buy a couple of concealers from Believe Beauty, but there's something else that I prefer, so I used that. Okay, so we're going to pick it up on face highlighter. This is stunning. This is the Believe Beauty Radiant Finish highlighter in Pop of Pink. And oh my gosh, I know it just looks like white on camera, but it's actually like a white pink duochrome. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, you can't see it that well on camera, but in real life, it's very, very pretty, especially if you're out like in the sunlight. The light just catches it, and it's so, so pretty. If you have lighter skin, I think you would love this. And they have other shades of highlighters too for all different skin tones. Okay, next I'm going to start working on my eyes. So I'm going to prime my lids off camera. They do not have an eyeshadow primer in the line. And then I'm going to use a brow bone highlighter shade from another brand and then be back. Okay, for eyeshadows, believe it or not, I am going to use the Believe Beauty Universal Brow Kit as eyeshadows. They do have tons of eyeshadows in the line. They have eyeshadow palettes. They have gel to powder eyeshadows that come in pots. But I'm not really that fond of any of the eyeshadow formulas in the line. The more I work with them, the more I realize that they're kind of tricky to work with, and they change color. The eyeshadow primer, the eyeshadow palettes get darker the further you get down in the pan with the products, which I don't like that. And then the eyeshadows that come in the pots that are the cream to powder formula, those don't really show up that well, and I feel like you have to just keep trying to pack it on and pack it on, or pull in a palette with it, or there's just a lot of, they're very labor intensive. So there aren't a lot of matte shadows in any of the palettes. So I started playing with the Universal Brow Kit to use as matte shadows in conjunction with the regular eyeshadows, and realized that these make really nice matte eyeshadows. So like I said, I've already highlighted my brow bone and inner corners with an eyeshadow from another brand, and now I'm going to use some of these. So I'm going to start with this light beige color and a shader brush, and I'm going to put that on my lids. So what I'm going to do for an eye look today is I'm going to do a neutral matte eyeshadow look, with the exception of my brow bone highlight, with a pop of color. You can do this with any eyebrow kit that you have. Normally, brow products do make really nice eyeshadows. It's especially nice if you're traveling and you don't want to bring a lot of products with you. you can just bring a brow kit like this, and that way you can really scale it back with what eyeshadows you're bringing. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this slightly darker shade. It's like a warm light brown, I guess you would call it. But they're really, really pigmented. I mean, can you see how much color got picked up on that brush? So I'm just going to tap off the excess. And I'm going to put that in the crease. And I'm going to put some on the outer portion of my lid. Okay, so next I'm going to take a clean, fluffy brush and I'm going to buff out the edges. So that that's nicely blended. Okay, this side. Needs a little bit more. And this side, need to go in just a tiny bit with that darker shade and add a little bit more. Wow, is it windy outside? I don't know if you could hear that. And then yeah, I like to use two different blending brushes, like one for application and one for further blending. It just works out better. Okay, now I'm going to go in with a palette by another brand and add a pop of color. Okay, so what I did was I took an eyeshadow from another brand's palette that was sort of a blue that had some purple to it, and I dragged that down along the lower lash line, and then I applied an eyeliner from another brand and a mascara from another brand, and finished the eye look. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is brows, and I went to a Dollar General yesterday that had the brow styling gel, so I'm very excited to try that out, and I got the shade light brown. Now normally what I do is I use this universal brow kit, and I use this shade right here for my brows, which I love, but I really wanted to try the brow gel as well. So I'm going to try to use just the brow gel today and kind of test it out on camera with you. If I don't like it, I can always just take it off and then use this like I normally do. So fingers crossed that I like this. We shall see. Okay, the brush on this is really, really tiny. So that's kind of nice because that's going to give me a lot of control. So I'm going to start right at the front inside part of my brow. Okay, this is really, really light and it's not depositing a lot of product. Okay, so we're going to stop right there and pick up an angled brush and go right in with this palette. And then maybe what I can do is just brush a little bit of the styling gel on it to blend. But I can see that that's not going to be the type of styling gel that you can use just on its own. See how much product I've got going on there with the palette. Yeah, this palette is so multi-purpose. I mean, you can use it as eyeshadows, you can use it to do your brows, and I feel like the colors that come in this, they really are universal, because don't forget, you can always blend the colors if need be. If you don't feel like any of these colors will match your brows, you can always blend some. I love that they did a combination of lighter and cooler and darker, and there's a wax in there too, but I normally don't use wax because I keep my brow hairs trimmed, so wax is usually for people that like their brow hairs a little longer. Then they need to put more product in them to keep them in place. So that's just a personal preference. I just like the way they look better when the hairs are shorter. Now, as you can see, this is just blending like a dream, and it's depositing the color nicely. And just by using an angled brush, I can get the effect that I want. So that's pretty much how I would do that. Okay, so brows are done. Well, actually, I want to try using a little bit of this styling gel now to blend. And you know what I like about this? Right off the bat, I noticed that this color is going to lighten the brow color that I just used a little bit and blend everything at the same time. So I think I will be using those two products together. Yes. Wow, great. Okay, so I'm glad I went out of my way to find a Dollar General that had the styling gel in light brown. Okay, so what does that leave? Lips. Okay, for lips, I'm going to use the Believe Beauty Long Lasting Lip Liner in Hint of Plum, and I'm just going to outline my lips. And I'm going to use one of the liquid lipsticks. This is in the shade Mischief, and this is the Plum liquid lipstick. So they're the Velvet Matte liquid lipsticks, and one of you had asked me in the comments yesterday if these were transfer proof, and they are not. And that is good or bad depending on what you're looking for. Usually if something is not transfer proof, that means it's a much more comfortable, cushiony type feel to it. So usually if something is not transfer proof, it's a little bit more forgiving. You have a little bit more time to really apply the product and blend it and go back over little sections that you missed. And the lip products are definitely some of the standouts in this line. The lip products, all of them. Lip gloss, liquid lipstick, bullet lipsticks, lip liners, all A++. The foundation, love the formula of this. The brow products, the highlighter, and the face primer are all the things that I would recommend from this line. Some of the other categories could use some work, but I wanted to feature the products today that I am blown away by, and I would recommend anything I used in this video today. I highly recommend it. So that is it, you guys. I hope you like this look. I am pretty happy with the way it turned out, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.